Our first guest is here to tell us about a significant change in how retirement accounts are passed down, the 10-year rule for inherited IRAs. Joining us in the studio is Vincent J. Russo with another episode of In the Legal Know. I just feel like I might be a little overwhelmed with this segment, but you're going to walk us through this, right? So what exactly is this 10-year rule regarding inherited IRAs?
All right, so this is really important. It affects thousands and thousands of people who inherit IRAs. So I'm going to try to keep this as simple as possible because the subject is very complex. So the 10-year rule says that most beneficiaries who inherit IRAs must withdraw the money out of the IRA account within a 10-year period after the account owner passes away. So it primarily affects what we call designated beneficiaries. Those are individuals. It's a child, a grandchild, could be a sibling, but an individual is a non-spouse. So we're going to put the spouse to the side. And the impact is that the money has to come out now sooner than the old rule, which is you could spread it out over one's lifetime. So instead of the beneficiary taking it over a 20, 30-year period, they have to take it within 10 years, subject to income tax. I know that upsets me. Oh, my goodness, it's subject to income tax. Yes. And now it's going to be subject to income tax sooner because of the 10-year rule. So that's the lay of the land, big picture. Now, there's a 5-year rule. We're not going to get into it today for charities and estates and certain trusts. And then there are exceptions to the rule.
Yeah, can you expand on the exceptions, especially for the eligible designated beneficiaries?
Wow, you are knowledgeable.
What can I say? Just sitting next to you, it filters into my brain.
Wow, that was really good. An EDB, an eligible designated beneficiary. These are the exception situations. And so the 10-year rule will not apply to certain individuals and trusts, and it allows then other options. So the first EDB is a surviving spouse. So the surviving spouse can roll it over into their own IRA as a separate IRA rollover. They can make it part of their IRA account and allows it to spread it out over the surviving spouse's lifetime. A minor child under age 21 can stretch it in a way up to age 31. It's an interesting situation, but that's an option for minor children. A disabled or chronically ill individual could spread it out over their lifetime, which is awesome, or in a trust for their benefit over their lifetime. So it can protect them and they can go on government benefits like Medicaid. And then lastly, beneficiaries not more than 10 years younger. So let's say you have a sibling who's 2 years younger than the account owner and they pass away, we can pay it out over the lifetime of the sibling and not be subject to the 10-year rule.
All right, so what if you don't fall into that category and then you're a beneficiary and you're obviously going to face a larger tax bill sooner? So what strategies? Give us some strategies to save some money and maybe not be taxed as much.
Right. So there are always strategies. I mean, that's why the professionals are out there. So one is strategic withdrawals. So think about over that 10-year period, maybe you're in a lower income tax bracket in a particular year, or you want to spread the payments out rather than take it out as a lump sum at the end of the 10th year. There's also another rule that comes in play. People need to be aware of it. If the account owner was in payout status of their inherited IRA, they have to take it out over the 9 years and then the balance within the 10 years. So it's complicated. Roth IRAs conversion, someone owns a traditional IRA, could liquidate it, move it into a Roth IRA conversion, pay income tax on it. Then the individual who inherits it gets it tax-free. Certain charities, you leave it to a charity, that's not subject to income tax. There's some planning there, use of trust. I think you really have to consult with a professional here, a tax advisor, legal consequences come into play here. And it's so complicated. But there are these strategies that can really make a difference.
So say, I have an IRA, obviously, and so what kind of legal advice would you give me for like how I'm designating, who like to give to a loved one and stuff if I pass away?
Yeah, so it's really important that individuals who have IRA accounts, qualified retirement accounts, they're always making sure that they're naming the people they want as beneficiaries, and that they review and update those beneficiary designations. It's common for me to ask a client, let me see a copy of your designated beneficiary on your IRA, and they say, well, I don't have it. And then it makes me concerned. Well, who did you name? Was it done correctly? So the second thing would be to carefully consider who you're naming. So, for example, I have two children. One is disabled. The child who's disabled, I can put it in a trust and pay it out over their lifetime. If I leave it to the child who's not disabled, they have to take it out within 10 years and pay tax sooner. So there's some planning and coordination with one's estate to make sure you're maximizing what you have for your family.
All right, and finally, what legal advice do you have for somebody who is inheriting this IRA?
Yeah, so first, don't act too quickly. Don't immediately jump into this. You got to understand what the tax consequences are of taking the money out. You've got to make sure that you do the paperwork that's required when you're inheriting an IRA. And also there are timing requirements when it needs to be done. So get the advice of an advisor who can make sure all these steps are being taken care of.
And I encourage everyone to go vjrussolaw.com, right? Because you're here for all of us.
Yeah, we'd love to be a resource, and there are free planning guides on our website. You can download them, and we're always there to help.
EDB, eligible designated beneficiaries.
You got it.
All right, you learned something new every day. Always with you, Vincent. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.